This happened about a year ago. I'm in a long-distance relationship and frequently travel, so I usually use Lyft or Uber to get to and from the airport. This particular ride started off fine. The driver, I believe, was from Haiti, so his accent was very thick and sometimes hard to understand. At first, he was just striking up a conversation, as most drivers do. Where are you flying from? Are you in college? Do you have family here? And so on. There is a lot of traffic when we enter the motorway. Had a stopover, and since everyone was using the outlets, I was unable to charge my phone. I sincerely hope that the traffic will ease up soon, since I have to stay in touch with the people I'll be living with. Naturally, my bad luck causes the app to crash and display the message, "You have arrived while we were in the middle of motorway." I am a little irritated as we are essentially in the middle of the motorway and there are no residences around. The driver said he will stop at this local Walmart to investigate the issue. It seems that he was using an outdated phone that was not providing accurate directions. I offered that we could use mine, but he insisted that I seat up front since I needed to charge it. Easier, so I went ahead and did what he instructed, telling me he would take me the rest of the way free of charge without using the lifter, and we're back on. He approaches me as we leave the Walmart parking lot and inquires about my age. I informed him that once I transformed, everything started to seem strange. He appeared to be excited about my youth, which seemed strange. But whatever, he then starts asking me a series of questions like, "I'm a doctor, and this is just a side job, so I have money. Why don't you live here in this state? You should move here. And you could go to college here." This dude was at least in his mid-20s when I informed him I didn't have the money to just relocate to the US and enroll in college. He then said, "I can take care of you. I'll buy you a little flat and a nice call and take you out and pay for your college." Realizing that I had recently become an adult without legal status, he seemed to be kidding, so I kind of just chuckled uncomfortably. I told him that it wasn't necessary, but he went on and I started to feel a little uneasy. I didn't want to draw any conclusions, so I reasoned that perhaps he wasn't sure how to conduct a proper conversation because he wasn't born in the country or something. A few minutes later, when we were about 5 minutes away from our destination, my phone started doing that annoying charging that wouldn't stop even with the charger wires fully loaded. I had this phone for a long time sometimes and didn't seem to be charging very much. It died when we got so close to our destination, even though I told him I knew the rest of the way. When I told him to turn right, he would say, "Okay," deliberately turning left or continue straight, doing opposite of what I had instructed. I'm not too acquainted with the neighborhood. I know only a few of the streets. He tells me he lives nearby, and that's when we become lost since he's disregarding everything I say and acting like it was a mistake. I start to get extremely afraid. I cry a single tear because I believe he's going to abduct me or something. But I tell myself to hold it together because in the movies, people get angry or whatever when they sense fear. So I'm trying to make it look like I'm not losing my... Finally, he turns around again, and when we're almost there again, he starts driving in the wrong direction. At this point, I had my phone on 5% when he reached over and took it from me while we're at a red light. He then puts his number in my phone and tells me to call him if I ever need anything, and that it's time for us to head out. I pretend to grin to keep him from seeing that I'm about to shit myself out of fear, but you're actually frightening me. Eventually, I feel so frustrated that I just run out of control at another red light and ask for the facts. Goodbye. I need my boyfriend to come get me because I'm terribly afraid, so I contact him when my battery is just 5% dead and let them know where I am. My Lyft driver is yelling at me through the window to come back in the car, but there was absolutely no way I was going to do that since I was a crazy sugar baby and it was a stranger. After that, I go somewhere with a lot of people and wait for my boyfriend. The entire scenario made the trip take about 2.5 hours when it should have took 45 minutes even with the traffic. Later, I contacted my boyfriend and informed him of everything and informed them of everything,